the UK. Bowel cancer is quite a prominent cancer. It's the fourth most common cancer. It's a cancer that can be treated if caught early enough. Some of the main treatment options are chemotherapy, radiotherapy and surgery, and sometimes a combination of these.
We used to operate on all bowel cancer by an open approach. This involved making a large incision in the abdomen. Around 20 years ago, keyhole surgery came in, and then in the last really 5 years we've now started to see a widespread uptake of robotic minimally invasive surgery, and that's this new evolution of keyhole surgery.
Robotic-assisted surgery is where a surgeon makes a number of small openings in the stomach area and they then remove the cancer supported by a robotic-assisted system. The robot holds the instruments, it holds the camera, but it's guided by the actions of the surgeon, so it's still the surgeon who carries out the procedure.
And what you see here is you have these access ports that go in through the abdominal wall into the abdomen. We inflate the abdomen with gas so everything sits apart. And then we bring in these robotic arms that connect onto these access ports, and then the instruments slot in and go through. And then the surgeon controls all these instruments from the bedside console.
Robotic-assisted surgery isn't suitable for everyone. It can depend on a number of key factors, such as where the cancer is within the colon, and it can also depend on whether it is spread to other parts of the body. It's becoming more common, but it isn't available everywhere.
So the first thing that will happen is that a nurse will speak to you about your general health, just to make sure you're as fit as possible for your surgery. Then your healthcare team will give you a carbohydrate loading drink to get your bowel working as quickly as possible after your operation. During your operation, you'll be asleep. It will be done under general anaesthetic, so you won't feel anything or be aware of anything. When you wake up after your surgery, the nurses will make sure you have adequate pain control, and they'll tell you when you can start eating and drinking. After your operation, before you're able to go home, your healthcare team will want you to be eating and drinking properly. They'll want to know that your bowels are beginning to work properly, and they'll want to know there are no signs of infection.
You think going in for an operation, or you're going to be in hospital for weeks on end and you're going to be in pain. I was operated on in the 5th, home in the 8th.
After the operation, you are going to be full of wind. It's not unbearable, it's just pain. That does happen for a couple of days.
After the robotic surgery, and I arrived home to live a normal life, being able to walk up the stairs without any problems and do housework and even exercise.
You've got a cut which has been stitched. That was okay for the first 5 days, but then because it was in a fold in the skin, it was then constantly being irritated. I was concerned, so that's when I phoned the cancer nurses, and they said, well, go to your GP, which I did, saw the nurse there, she had a look at it and gave me these dressings to put on it before it actually healed up completely.
I only have 5 small wounds. You would never have thought I'd been through major surgery.
Robotic-assisted surgery has similar risks and benefits to keyhole surgery. When we've engaged with patients, some have come back with responses that are really positive around the length of time it took to recover. Smaller incisions, back to work quicker. Those benefits have been found with keyhole and with robot-assisted surgery, and there's more research taking place all the time to understand what those benefits and risks may be over the longer term.